With great pleasure that I am Senator Sonia Halpern, welcome you to the Georgia State Capitol for our 4th annual HBCU Heritage Day. Another thank you to Governor Kemp and First Lady Kemp for joining us here today and once again presenting this celebration in partnership with my office. Well, Georgia is home to 10 historically black colleges and universities, making us the #2 state in the nation, tied with North Carolina for having the most HBCUs. These institutions have played a vital role in our state's history and continue to shape Georgia's future. The colleges honored today are Savannah State University, Albany State University, Fort Valley State University, Payne College in Augusta, Spelman College, Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse College, Morehouse School of Medicine, Morris Brown, and the Interdenominational Theological Center. All 10 of these schools have positively impacted the lives of nearly 20,000 students altogether each year. Generation after generation, HBCUs play a vital role in elevating students' socioeconomic status, helping develop future business, civic, community, and faith leaders, and have provided a proven pathway to the middle class and beyond. So whether it's a first-generation college student like both of my parents were when they left Mississippi farm life for a world of new opportunities, or one of the 76% of HBCU students who are Pell Grant recipients, or those second or third generation students who are carrying the weight of family expectations, HBCUs offer a welcoming environment and the support needed to succeed. So today we are celebrating the rich heritage and ongoing legacy of Georgia's HBCUs. Please join me in welcoming my colleague, Senator Derek Mallow, who will lead us in prayer. And I wonder, I see the lieutenant.
Thank you, Senator Halpern. To our Governor and First Lady, the elected representatives that are here today, to our HBCU presidents, and all of you, thank you all for being here. Disclaimer, as a Baptist preacher, I will give a brief prayer, and when I mean brief, I do mean brief. So if you would, pause and join me in a word of prayer. Most gracious, eternal, all-wise, and all-knowing God. God, we thank you for a day that we have never seen and a day that we will never see again. Father, we thank you for each and every person that thought it not robbery to assemble themselves here today to celebrate the work that our HBCUs have done in the state of Georgia. Father, we just ask a special blessing upon our HBCUs, for we know that they have toiled the fields for many years to help produce some of the most best and brightest of our country and of our state. God, we ask that you guide the leadership of this state as they continue to make investments in our HBCUs. God, guide the hands of our presidents as they administer and oversee the operations at those HBCUs. And God, we just ask that you bless those who have assembled themselves here today. Father, we ask that you give them traveling grace and mercy on their way home. God, we ask that as we leave this place, it never be from your presence. It is in the most wonderful, matchless name of the Most High that we do pray. Let our heart and mind say together, amen.
Next up, I am introducing the president, Marian Frederick of Albany State University. You might have seen that she was just, we just learned recently that she will be leaving Albany State University, so we will miss her extraordinarily capable hands in that institution. But she is coming to Atlanta, where she will be senior vice president, oh gosh, let me get this right, at Georgia State University, and chief of staff to that president, Brian Blake. And I believe for the first time, we will have a senior advisor to the Chancellor's office in Dr. Frederick. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. And Senator, when you say it that way, it gets me nervous. Good afternoon, everyone. Senator Halpern, thank you for continuing to bring this event to the Capitol every year. HBCU Heritage Day, I think this is the 4th annual HBCU Heritage Day, so thank you for that. Governor Kemp and Mrs. Kemp, thank you for continuing to support our HBCUs. Some amazing things have happened because of the support that you provided, so thank you so much for that. I am Dr. Marion Ross Frederick, president of the unsinkable and indestructible Albany State University. However, if the Flint keeps rising, we may be in some trouble, so hold on to us as the rain comes. But we are here from Albany State University, the largest HBCU in the state of Georgia, but also the most academically diverse institution with associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees. I get the wonderful opportunity today to actually introduce a couple of the presidents that are with me and colleagues. I'm just going to do two, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so before I do introduce them, the governor's going to speak, but I will say Dr. George French and Dr. Paul Jones is my colleague, Dr. Paul Jones will come up and speak after the governor. Thank you.
So our governor really does not need any introduction. We already know that he is a devoted husband, father, businessman, and a dedicated public servant. Over 35 years ago, he founded his first business, Kemp Development and Construction Company, with nothing but a pickup truck and a shovel. And look, 30 years later, he leads Georgia as our governor, and he remains an entrepreneur with companies and investments in many different areas. He has played a vital role in driving economic prosperity throughout communities across Georgia, and under his leadership, Georgia has achieved the remarkable feat of being ranked #1 in the country for business for an unprecedented 10 consecutive years. Please join me in welcoming our governor, Mr. Brian Kemp.
Well, thank you all very much. Thank you, Senator Halpern, for that, and for also just taking the time to organize this event every year on behalf of our First Lady, Marty Kemp. We are excited to be with you for the 4th annual now HBCU Day at the Capitol, and certainly an incredible opportunity for us to celebrate all these proud institutions have done and continue to do to enrich our state. I know our Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones has arrived. As you all know, this is a crazy busy time part of the session, so there's a lot of moving parts going on in the Capitol, and I appreciate you all bearing with all of us that are having to be places and be on the floor, and I know you'll hear from Lieutenant Governor Jones in just a minute. Also just want to thank the other members of the General Assembly that are here and that have supported this event in the past. You know, Senator Mallow, when he was praying, he left out the part about praying for a swift and drama-free end to the legislative session. I may be more biased than others on that part of the prayer. I appreciate Representative Patty Bentley and Representative Roger Bruce and a lot of other folks that are here. We're so excited about Dr. Frederick's new role. I know she's going to keep Dr. Blake straight. That's exactly what I thought when I first heard the news, and I appreciate our esteemed presidents for allowing me to jump in front of them because of our workload and other commitments that I have. But we're very grateful for all that you all are doing. Our nation's historically black colleges and universities have played an integral part in shaping our economy, culture, and certainly an important part of Georgia's history. Generations of black Georgians and Americans have come to these campuses to pursue higher education opportunities. And for generations, these institutions served in many times as the only option for black Georgians and Americans seeking skills and knowledge for success. Today, our HBCUs are the campus of choice for so many across our state, but also across our country, because of their rich legacy, culture, but also pathways to success. We are proud Georgia has played such a large role in that legacy, with graduates of our HBCUs going on to become leaders not only in politics, but business, the arts, STEM, religion, and every walk of American life. Now, I will just tell you from my perspective as the governor, I hear weekly from corporations and businesses in our state about the talent that we have in Georgia, but especially in Atlanta. And it's why major companies and corporations are coming to our state. It's while they're not laying off folks. They're coming here and growing even when their campuses in other parts of the state may be downsizing. And I often hear how big a part the HBCUs are to that workforce development. That diverse talent that we have in our state is one reason we are doing so well just right down the street. And it's because of the hardworking faculty of Albany State, Clark Atlanta, Fort Valley State, Morehouse School of Medicine, Payne College, Savannah State, Spelman, Interdenominational Theological Center, and others that have empowered generations of Black Americans to unlock doors that were once closed to them. And that is important work that they continue to do. We are working to support them in that mission because we know that education is the key to an individual's success and, by extension, an success for our entire state. With Georgia continuing to welcome record economic growth to all four corners of our state, we need institutions like these to keep preparing the next generation so that they can take advantage of these opportunities. That's why this year's budget proposal included over $10 million for capital projects at Fort Valley State and Albany State, in addition to the funding for all our public universities. I was also proud of one of my administration's top priorities, and I want to thank the members of the General Assembly that worked so hard with us to get this piece of legislation to fruition, and that is the teacher pipeline package that passed a couple of years ago. It included a specific provision that requires our Professional Standards Commission to work closely with HBCUs to attract greater numbers of minority teachers into this field. It is important that all students can see themselves in their teachers, and that measure helps make that a reality. In closing, I look forward to continuing to work with the leaders and the students of the HBCUs represented here today, the local and state officials, especially those that are working in the Gold Dome that have such great support for our HBCUs like Senator Halpern, Senator Mallow, our Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, and many others, but also our education leaders to keep celebrating and supporting our HBCUs. They do good work. They help make Georgia the best place to live, work, and raise a family. So thank you all for being here again this year. It's been an honor to be with you. God bless.
Thank you again. Thank you again. Thank you again, First Lady, as well. Okay, so now it is time to bring up two of our great presidents, President Jones, President French. Will you please join me at the podium? We've got represented here Fort Valley State University, who will talk to us about our schools. And of course, Fort Valley is one of our public HBCUs. He can tell you himself, but there's two land-grant institutions in Georgia, and Fort Valley is our HBCU land-grant institution established in 1895. That is just how long they have been educating students. And then we've got President French, who of course is the illustrious president from Clark Atlanta University here in Atlanta. Clark Atlanta has the distinction of being an HBCU that offers both undergraduate and graduate programs for its students, and it is part of what we colloquially and happily call the Atlanta University Center. Atlanta is the only place in the nation that has the largest and oldest consortium of HBCUs in the country. So it is a very unique asset that we have right here in the city, just miles down the road from this Capitol. And anyway, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Governor, First Lady Kemp, I know they've left Lieutenant Governor Jones, Senator Halpern, and other esteemed General Assembly members. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
As we gather here today to celebrate HBCU Heritage Day, We stand at the intersection of history and progress, reflecting on the profound impact of historically black colleges and universities in shaping our communities, our nation, and our world. I'm deeply honored to address you on behalf of Georgia's public HBCUs, Albany State, Fort Valley State, and Savannah State University, along with my friend from Clark Atlanta University, President French, as we affirm our commitment to excellence, equity, and empowerment. HBCUs are not just institutions of higher learning, they are beacons of hope, opportunity, and transformation. They stand as a testament to the resilience, perseverance, and brilliance of excellence, providing a nurturing environment where dreams take flight and futures are forged. The economic impact of the public universities in Georgia is staggering, totaling more than $584 million. These figures are not merely statistics, they represent jobs created, businesses supported, and lives transformed. And that's only the three public institutions I'm mentioning. But our impact goes beyond dollars and cents. HBCUs are pillars of their communities, fostering a culture of service, leadership, and civic engagement. We are catalysts for change, empowering our students to become agents of progress and champions of justice. Through partnerships in local businesses, government agencies, and nonprofit organizations, we are driving workforce development initiatives that prepare our students for the challenges of the 21st century economy. So let us celebrate HBCU Heritage Day with pride and purpose, knowing that our journey is far from finished. Together, let us continue to build a world where every voice is heard, every dream realized, and every life valued. Thank you, and may God bless our beloved HBCUs and the communities it serves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Most certainly to the Governor and First Lady in absentia, to our Lieutenant Governor and friend, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, to Senator Sonia Halpern, and all of your colleagues who have worked arduously to make this day a reality, to the distinguished Executive Director of the Atlanta University Center Consortium, Dr. Michael Hodge, and to my colleagues, the hardest working individuals in this nation without doubt. To my colleague, Dr. David Thomas, the president of Morehouse College. To my colleague again, Dr. Paul Jones, president of Fort Valley State University. And I'm gonna skip over this one, I'm gonna come back to that one intentionally. Madam President, congratulations on your new role at Georgia State University. We are proud of you. I stand before you as president of Clark Atlanta University, which had its origins in 1865. And on the campus for which we originated, we were fortunate because of a brotherhood to give a campus for the establishment of a phenomenal institution. The institution would become Morris Brown College. To be clear, we did not leave Morris Brown when you started. We had your back, and we continue to have it, and we are proud of the work, my brother, that you've done there. Won't you give my colleague a hand? So, what we want to celebrate today would be the work of the commission, the work of the legislature, the work of the senator in putting together resources to continue to support the HBCUs, public and private, within our state. We ask for legislators, those representing legislators, to get behind Senator Halpern, this effort and the efforts of all of our HBCUs. Representative Bruce, we thank you so much, Senator.
I want to make sure that we recognize, thank you again to our presidents. We already heard from President Frederick, President Jones, President French. I want to also acknowledge President James, stand up, Morris Brown, President Thomas, Morehouse College, and Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice, I know, is coming. She, of course, is the president of Morehouse School of Medicine. Can I invite Senator Mallow? I am going to let you, we're going to share the introduction of our Lieutenant Governor, because our colleague, Jason Anavatarte, as you know, the work that we're doing on our HBCUs has been very bipartisan in nature. There is a lot going on today, but you do your intro, and then I want to say a few words too before you come up, Lieutenant Governor.
As the junior senator to the senior senator, I of course yield. Our Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones is the 13th Lieutenant Governor. He's father, husband to our First Lady of the Senate, Ms. Jan Jones. Burt is also the President of the Senate, and he's our Lieutenant Governor, so I refer to him as Lieutenant Governor and Mr. President, and those terms are interchangeable. The Lieutenant Governor has been a friend to HBCUs. He has been very listening to our needs, and where he can help, he has helped. And most recently, to commission a study for a veterinarian school. He's been working to address some of the infrastructure needs at Savannah State University. I know for a fact he has been integral in some of the needs at Albany State University as well on the Senate side, and we're grateful to have someone who will listen to our issues. And he has not only come and listened, he has also come and visited our HBCUs to see what we have to offer, to see the excellence that takes place on our campuses, and also to understand better the work that you all do and that we do as an HBCU alum each and every day, and I cannot say thank you enough for that work. And I will now yield to the senator from Atlanta.
I am only co-signing on this to say that our Lieutenant Governor, we served together in the Senate since I've gotten there. We have served together as senators. He does not have an HBCU himself in his district. He served as a senator for 10 years, but has visited some of the Atlanta ones. As we started talking about HBCU work, he asked great questions. He was very curious about the work happening on these campuses, and together we decided that there was no better way for him to better understand them, but to actually get on to those schools, get in front of those schools. So we did a tour last fall and visited with all of our schools, and coming out of that, I've been really grateful for him for his support and some of the work I'm doing. I will name specifically, there is a piece of legislation, but he has, as Senator Mallow just said, earnestly understood the needs and challenges and has been working hand in hand with us to try to identify ways that we might close some of those gaps that he himself was able to see with his own eyes. So without further ado, our Lieutenant Governor, Burt Jones.
Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate Senator, that nice introduction. Also, my favorite senator from Savannah right there. I enjoy Senator Mallow. I thought he was a lawyer, and I found out he wasn't a lawyer, and I was like, surely he's a preacher, you know, the way he gets up in the well, and he's not a preacher either. And I was like, what do you do for a living, Derek? You know, because you talk too good, you're too smooth to not be one of those two. He goes, I'm just a good salesman, Lieutenant Governor, so he does a great job, and it's always a pleasure serving with and doing work with Senator Halpern and what she's done for HBCUs and what she's done to bring the HBCU initiative to the forefront. And she came to us last year. We're very fortunate here in the state of Georgia. We have a lot of opportunities in this state in a lot of different realms, whether we're talking about in the medical field, in the in the educational field, in manufacturing, whatever it is, we have a lot of opportunities. And when Senator Halpern came to me last year and said, I want to do more to raise the profile of HBCUs, I said, well, I do too, because I want every university and every technical college and every educational entity we have to feel like they have a seat at the table and be a part of making a difference in our, what I call workforce development. And when we were talking about the HBCUs, both private and public, I said, I'm a hands-on person. I really like to get on the ground and see exactly what it is each university offers, what they do best, what they want to be known for, and thankfully every president and made time for us to come. I will have to say, Dr. Fredericks rolled out the red carpet down there at Albany State right there. I said they're going to have a hard time topping this now, because it was the bands were playing and everything. But I did find out it was homecoming week that week, so I thought it was just for me, but she was acting like it was all for me. I found out it was homecoming week. Who were y'all playing? Were y'all playing Fort Valley and Columbus that week or something like that? Who was it y'all had for home? Fort Valley, yeah. So anyways, but she had me fooled for a little bit. But if I had not gotten down there, I wouldn't have seen the thriving campus population, the need for us to do more student housing down there, the curriculums that we need to focus on, and I can assure you the governor was helpful in us getting the money for us to do the remodel on the hot tower facility, wasn't it, I believe? And so I was proud to do that. I'm sad to see you go, I'll be honest with you, but congratulations on your new venture, and I know you'll do very well at Georgia State. But had we not gone on those trips, I wouldn't have gotten to see what a marine biology program we had at Savannah State University, which is something we need to highlight, as well as at Fort Valley, the agricultural curriculum that we have there, which is the reason why I put money in the budget this year, because we need another vet school in the state of Georgia. We have one veterinarian school here in the state of Georgia. And Dr. Jones and I talked about that on my trip there to Fort Valley, and we went in the meat coolers and everything. We saw the agricultural end of from start to finish, and I appreciate Dr. Jones, and I want us to have that money there to put together that study and illustrate that we have a need here in the state of Georgia. We have a good university entity that can fulfill that need, and we can go outside. I know University of Georgia is the only vet school. For those of you who don't know, I think Fort Valley would be the perfect place to have the second one here in the state of Georgia as well. And of course, I had my trip to to our fine private institutions with Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, and also Spelman as well. And we've got money in the budget for the academic center there as well, because I could not believe that in a campus of higher learning, higher education, that there was a lack of broadband and access there in the academic center. And so we are put money in that budget for that, and I'm working with Georgia Power, for those you don't know, and trying to get that implemented sooner rather than later. So there are a lot of opportunities. Senator Halpern has got a great mechanism that we passed out of the Senate. It's a commission that we set up that I plan on putting people who are HBCU graduates, that know the HBCU campuses and are proud graduates, and people who will be advocates for those universities. And it is just another mechanism we're putting in place that we'll be able to draw down federal dollars, we'll be able to take private contributions, and it will really help our state entities, because not everybody is as fortunate as is Spelman and Morehouse that had the large endowments. Schools like Savannah State, Fort Valley State, and Albany State will benefit from this program, but it's something that will be used for all our HBCUs. So I will tell you this, we have a very exciting thing. It's the last thing I'll leave you with, and because I need your help on this. Tomorrow we have a certificate of need bill that will be on the floor, and in that language we have Morehouse College, we have Morehouse Medical School, the language in there for them to be able to have the ability to take over the Atlanta Medical Center, which would provide health care and also a training facility for Morehouse medical students. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's language we worked on. I'm meeting with the Morehouse leadership right after we get done here. But that is something that is obviously, when that center closed, we lost our trauma, one of only 2 trauma centers that we had here in the city, and Atlanta's too big of a town, and Metro Atlanta is too big of an area to have just one, and this mechanism that we're putting in place right now will enable us to do that. So get on your House and Senate members, all right? Y'all get on them, because CON has been something that has been a very difficult state state bureaucratic system that has been hard to break through, but this right here will benefit a lot of people around the state. It's going to benefit a lot of small counties as well as some large counties as well. So thank y'all. Thank you for your leadership. I know I talked too long. Thank each and every one of y'all for your leadership, your friendship, and y'all know y'all have an open door with my office, and y'all have got a friend in the Lieutenant Governor's office. So thank y'all very much. So thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you again. Lieutenant Governor, as you heard, has been really fantastic at really trying to address the needs that have been brought to his office, and I think he is very sincere about that open door. I don't think that we could have an HBCU Heritage Day and let it be complete if we don't hear from a student. So I am going to bring up a student, actually a graduate. I don't know the year that he was a student at Morehouse, but I want to bring up Representative Roger Bruce, who has served in the House for more years almost than I can count, 32 years, and has announced his 22, and has announced his retirement. So we will not see him back. We will not see his name again on the ballot this year, but he has served with great deliberation, thoughtfulness, and has made a difference, and always, always, always has cared about our community. So, Roger Bruce.
Thank you. Thank you. I was not scheduled to be on the program today, so I don't have a prepared speech. But I want to thank the senator for giving me a chance to come up and say thank you for the education that I received at Morehouse and the Atlanta University Center. It's a family. You know, as a student at Morehouse, you could take classes at any of the colleges in the center. And I think I took classes at every one, mostly Spelman, for obvious reasons. But I also served on the board of ITC for 20 years. And it is truly a family. And you know, when you leave there, you are prepared. They prepare you for the challenges that you face. They prepared me to be down here for 22 years, serving the public. And I don't want to talk long, but I do want to share a story if I could. I tried to get my son to go to Morehouse. You know this story. I tried to get my son to go to Morehouse. He said, "Dad, I don't want to go to Morehouse." I said, "Why not?" He said, "Because I want to have a good time and I don't want everybody calling you, telling you what I'm doing." I said, "Well, what are you going to be doing that you don't want me to know about?" He said, "Whatever you did, I'm probably going to do that too, and you didn't want anybody to know about it." So I said, "Well, where do you want to go?" He said, "I want to go to Hampton." I said, "Fine. We drive up to Hampton. I think we were on campus 10 minutes. And this guy walks up, he says, Representative Bruce, how you doing, man? I said, I'm good. He said, I was in your class at Morehouse. I said, well, what are you doing now? He said, I'm the dean of students. My son was about to have a heart attack. It is one big family. And I really appreciate, letting me come up, because I really want to say thank you to all the presidents for the work that you do, and to let you know, I'm still in office till the end of this year. And I'm going to do everything I can to do whatever I can now and in the future to help you guys continue the legacy of making sure that our children are prepared for the struggles in this world. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, well, we are closing out, but I cannot close without, because this is a celebration. So let me just highlight some of the incredible achievements by Georgia's HBCUs. Did you know that Fort Valley State is the #1 university in Georgia for social mobility? It is the #1 ranked public HBCU in the state, and it boasts one of the largest solar farms on a higher education campus in the entire nation. That is our Fort Valley State University. Savannah State University is the #1 producer of African American marine science graduates in the country, and it is our oldest public HBCU at 134 years old. Albany State University is the #1 producer of nursing associate degrees and registered nursing associate degrees in the state of Georgia, and it is the only HBCU in the state with a dental hygiene program. Spelman College is the #1 producer of black women with PhDs in STEM in the entire country. It is also the #1 ranked HBCU in the country for 17 years running, and holds the spot for the #9th most innovative schools in the country. Clark Atlanta University is the #2 ranked and oldest school of social work in our state, and it is the only HBCU in the nation with a cyber physical systems degree. So think cybersecurity, AI, data analytics, and robotics. That is our Clark Atlanta University. Morehouse School of Medicine is the #1 medical school in the country for fulfilling the social mission of medical education, and 61% of graduates stay in Georgia upon graduation. Morehouse College, it's the #1 producer of black men who go on to earn doctorate degrees. It is also the largest men's liberal arts college in the country, and it is the only HBCU in the country dedicated to educating black men, or men, but black men. Payne College is a diverse and thriving campus with students from all 50 states in the country and students from around the globe, and it generates 400 jobs locally and regionally and $274 million in lifetime earnings for its graduates. The Interdenominational Theological Center was the first graduate-level theological center school to embrace Afrocentric hermeneutics as the core of its academic programs, and it is the only United Negro College Fund member institution that offers graduate-level theological education. Morris Brown. Morris Brown just recently received its accreditation after 20 years. It is one of the few, if not, is it the only still? It is the only HBCU in the country that has ever lost its accreditation to regain it, and that has happened under the steady leadership of Dr. Kevin James. Our schools are thriving. They are well regarded across the nation. They are doing amazing work inside of our own state, and ultimately, these institutions of higher learning are terribly important to the overall ecosystem in our state, whether we're talking about economic development, workforce development, their positions in the communities and the access that they have throughout our state. It is worth our time. It is worth our effort to continue to put a highlight and a spotlight on these wonderful institutions, and I thank you for celebrating with us again this year our schools. I will recognize Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice, Morehouse School of Medicine, who has walked in. Thank you for being here. I want to thank you all for joining again today. This concludes this part of our program. We will be doing a moderated roundtable conversation. Dr. Maria Boynton will moderate. I believe that I will be talking along with, let's see, who's else that's on the panel? And are you gonna? Okay, and and Urban League is gonna be on our panel, and Dr. Fedrick is also on our panel. That is gonna be in, 328 CLOB, so we'll go back across the street there back to the club, but that's in 328. Please join us if you can for that conversation. Thank you again. Please continue to be the folks that always highlighting and always championing our HBCUs. And like you've heard, there is a piece of legislation that is making its way through the legislature. It is in the House. I was hoping it was going to be heard today, but our time got pushed back, so it will be heard in the House on Monday. And anything you can do to make sure that people know how important it is that we invest in the schools, but also in the communities in which they sit. We strengthen the communities, we'll strengthen the schools. So thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you being here. Until next year, but don't be a stranger. Thank you.